Abbott Elementary executive producer Patrick Shoemaker reveals that one character almost had a shared backstory with an It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia mainstay. The ABC sitcom focusing on the trials and tribulations of the teachers of a Philadelphia public school began airing its fourth season in October 2024 and returned from a brief hiatus with the first part of a crossover with It's Always Sunny. In Volunteers, Abbott welcomes the main characters of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia to the school as teaching aides to work off a community service charge following the airing of Volunteers. Shoemaker revealed to IndieWire that earlier ideas for the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia crossover featured a shared history between two key characters. Mr. Johnson, William Stanford Davis, and Frank Reynolds, Danny DeVito, were originally envisioned to have a connection dating back to their school days, where the pair would have been rivals in earning the affection of Shay Dynasty. Shay Dynasty first appeared in It's Always Sunny Season 7 as a former flame of Frank's in the 1960s. Shoemaker said what Abbott Elementary and It's Always Sunny's cut backstory could have meant for both series. Each series has contradicting timelines. While it could have provided plenty of humor, the two shows established continuity for Mr. Johnson, and Frank likely wouldn't have allowed this storyline to work. Abbott Elementary has provided several hilarious and wildly disconnected details about Mr. Johnson's origins, and they indicate he isn't quite the same age as Frank. This means that Mr. Johnson likely wouldn't have been in school when Frank's romance with Shay Dynasty began in the 60s, before his descent into a life of shady dealings and criminal activity. As such, the implementation of Mr. Johnson and Frank's shared history with Shay Dynasty would have meant one character's life would have received a major retcon. However, with the idea being an incredibly early concept, the details could have been refined to fit both characters' pasts, be it a change in time or character. However, with Shoemaker stating the idea had been left aside, the idea isn't canon to either shows at this point of time. Nevertheless, it shows how deeply the writers of both Abbott Elementary and It's Always Sunny were committed to connecting their shows. Our take on Abbott Elementary and It's Always Sunny's cut backstory. Great care was taken to combine both shows. Though it would provide the Abbott Elementary episode with a fun connection to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia's past, it is undeniable that the decision would have left fans of the latter scratching their heads. It's a reference that would only appeal to those familiar with It's Always Sunny. As such, it is better that the first crossover episode instead chose to focus on Mr. Johnson and Frank's battle with the raccoons over a shared history. Furthermore, it is clear that the creatives of both series took their care to ensure that the crossover remained faithful to each character despite both shows' drastically different tones. This included centering Charlie Day, arc on his inability to read, and Dennis, Glenn Howerton, being reluctant to appear in the documentary format, thus making any contradictions unlikely to make it through the writing process. However, with Abbott Elementary's filming crew absent from the second crossover set to air in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia Season 17, there may still be an opportunity to see the characters in a new light.